Hello everybody and welcome to the Winding Road Podcast. Yeah, what do you want to talk about? Got Ace along for the ride with me, doing another nighttime edition. You can see me good enough. See Ace, that's for sure. He likes to go for nighttime rides, don't you, Boosh? Don't you, buddy? He loves it. He loves it. I don't know if it's legal or illegal to ride with your dome light on. Ooh, dome, taking dome hits. Oh yeah, no we're not. No we're not. Yeah, but we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. I don't think it is. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. AC? They really don't even need to see me, do they? And for those of you guys listening, that's why I've been doing these nighttime things more, to be honest with you, because I've found we're getting a lot more listeners than video watchers. And that's absolutely fine. It's kind of how podcasting works. Like most people listen rather than watch. Ace is my watchdog. What you watching? What you looking for, Ace? But for those of you who are listening and not seeing Ace, or haven't seen him on Ace Adventures on YouTube, Gary Martin Media, he is a German short-haired pointer. He's got a shooting star on his back. He's got an anteater on his hip. He's pretty cool, man. You can check that out at Ace Adventures on Gary Martin Media. But yeah, just been doing a little more of these night times, doing a little more nighttime driving, to be totally honest with you. So that's why we're clicking on here and doing the night time. I don't know, brain's different at night. Mine's a lot. Mine's probably more wide. I've been feeling tired, a little tired lately, but just overall in general. But I do think that my mind, and you get back, Ace, we're trying to do a podcast. I know they'd probably rather see you anyways, but my mind at night, just because of the natural melatonin levels or whatever other, that does happen for sure, just being a night owl in general. Like right now, as of this recording, 11:43 local time. And yeah, I feel like, boom, I'm ready to go, man. This is whenever I get a lot of my projects done. A lot of nighttime video editing. That's for sure. No doubt about it. And yeah, I feel like I do pretty well with that. Sometimes I make mistakes, but obviously I'm not perfect, so I'm just not gonna worry about it. Just gonna do the best I can and put it out there. Hopefully it's top notch, but no matter what, man, no matter how many videos I edit, no matter how many times I go through them, I will always find a mistake. You talk about the greatest books of all time, how many editors they got. Guarantee you can always find some kind of grammatical or spelling error in the book. Turn it off till we get through town here. Oh, we're on blinking red lights already. Whee! Can't see because Ace was in the way. No, I saw. I looked. I saw. But yeah. So yeah, you can't worry about being perfect. It's impossible. But whenever we point out things about other people, you're being critical of them, then I always turn it around on myself. I always turn it around on myself and be like, okay, man, you know what? Is that specific person going to come back at me with, or in the future, like, what's somebody going to say about me whenever I screwed up, Are they going to be critical to me because I screwed up? I mean, maybe, yeah, people are. But I'm just like, so I kind of stop myself then, because it's just like because then I just feel like I'm being a hypocrite. If I'm being like too hard on somebody for something. Now, constructive criticism, that obviously can be helpful. But if I'm being too hard on somebody, I just try to stop myself in my tracks, because then I'm just like, man, I'm not perfect, and like if somebody's asking for help on something, but it's like it was their own fault and they got in that position in the first place. You know, a lot of my inclination is to be like, no, like, you know, why should I have to take up my time to do this whenever it was your mistake? And I do think there's some definite valid merit to that and being like, no. But I also think that we should help people because none of us are perfect. So it's like, all right, well, God dang it, yeah, you screwed up. All right, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you a little bit here. Like, I'm not gonna invest a crazy amount of time into it. You know, time is the most valuable thing we have. But I want to help you because I'm not perfect either. So let me help you. It's just like whenever I'm being critical or whatever, it's just like, oh boy, you know, like you're gonna turn that around on me. Say something about me. Oh yeah, but you did this and you did this. Oh, you're saying that, but you did this. You know, you're not. Yeah. So then it's like, yeah, man. So then it's like, it really helps me kind of stop myself because I just don't want to get any negativity turned around on me. So then it's just kind of like, all right, well, okay, you know. And it's just like something the other day was happening, similar situation, you know, and it's just like I was being kind of stubborn about it. But then it's just like, okay, just your ego getting in the way. It's like, yeah, you put all this time into that, and they're asking you to do something to fix it, even though it's kind of their own fault. But then it's just like, okay, is it worth fighting them about it? Or is it just like worth being like, all right, cool, you know, I'm gonna fix it, whatever, and then just fix it and be done, then it's over, and you're done with it. And every situation is totally different, but you know, we can just let things drag and argue and fight back and forth about things whenever it's just like, okay, even though, you know, I might have to do this, it might take up my time, or even though, you know, it might kind of make me look bad with what it was on a video edit, to be totally honest with you. It was like, all right, well, you know, want me to take out this one part because something was said. I was like, man, it's not even really that bad. I was like, and it's kind of your own fault. And actually, and then I looked at it a little bit farther because I'm always like, okay, but I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. I'm like, all right. If I'm in their shoes, and then it's like, okay, and then I'm like, all right. Then I saw somebody else said on the video, I'm like, okay, all right, oh, well, yeah, maybe, all right, you know what, I'm gonna edit that out. But it's just like, okay, you know, rather than fighting whatever about it, it's like, okay, even though I might kind of look bad, it's just like, I don't know, man, I'm just like, whatever, just do it and be done with it. Just do it and be done with it. And it solved the problem, even though it you know, made my video edit like just for like 2 or 3 seconds. So you gotta kind of gauge something, you know, if it's gonna hurt your reputation that bad, or if it's gonna take up too much of your time. Should you do it? It's like, all right, if it's just gonna take up a little bit of time, it's really not gonna be that big of a deal, reflective on you. But by just going ahead and doing it, then it solves the whole entire thing. Like, all right, cool. So I'm like, done. Got it out of there, we're good, you know, just move on, because it was starting to ruminate and it was starting to stew, become a bit of a headache, and I'm just like, all right, man. I was just like trying, and even while it was going on, I'm like, okay, I was like, this is turning into way more than it probably should be. In my mind, I'm letting it circle and circle and circle. I'm like, all right, now just take care of it. Just take care of it. Just take 5 minutes, take care of it, and be done with it. And whatever situation you may be going through, like, these are questions that you need to ask yourself, I think, or might help you if you do. Anyways, I'm just on here giving my thoughts as always. And yeah, take with it what you will. Did that sentence make sense? I don't know. Hey, how you doing? I've been doing that when I'm hanging out with my friends lately, and people walking on the sidewalk, they can't see me or anything, but I'll just be like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I guess you'd have had to have been there. Maybe you're laughing. Maybe you're laughing. Maybe you are. I don't know. Ace is checking out things, though, on the winding road. He likes to hang out in that middle console and just see what's going on, man. What's happening? Is there something going? Where are the deer at? Where are the deer? It is deer season as of this recording. And man, I would love to go hunting just so that I'd gain that reverence for actually killing my food and, cooking it, skinning it, whatever that whole process looks like, and then actually eating it. I think there would be a great reverence that could be gained from that. But at the same time, I see people posting pictures on Facebook of their deer they got. A part of me is like, oh man, that's so sad. I feel so bad for the deer. Like, I don't even want to look at it, But then I walk into like a restaurant or something and they got like these big deer heads on the wall with like 10, 12, 14 points or whatever. And I'm like, that's badass, That's cool as hell. And I think that sometimes we miss out on both sides of the coin or in the whole picture of everything because we just latch ourselves on to one thought about something or a way of thinking about something, and we don't ever bother exploring the other side of it, Maybe, I know a lot of people probably are the same way as me, but I think a lot of people aren't, and they're just like, all right, no, I don't believe in that. I'm not, no, talk about something else, and then you could try to talk to them about it and they're not going to listen to you. Open-minded people might, but it's like, surely I'm not the only one that has those mixed feelings about things. Like, why can't both things be true? Why can't I be completely and utterly disgusted about, not completely and utterly because we're exploring both sides, right? But why can't I be disgusted by something and put off by an animal being killed, but then at the same time think it's really, really, really cool, the deer points and everything, and actually want to do it. It's like, I don't want to do it, but I do think it would be something that would be beneficial for me in gaining more reverence for life in general and the whole, what's that called? Not biodiversity, the food chain, yeah. And just the whole food chain of things. It's like, so many people eat meat, but have they ever killed it? No, probably most people no. So, I feel like I'm a hypocrite. I feel like I'm a hypocrite eating meat and not ever having actually killed something myself and eaten it. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Ace has got a poop. I can smell it. Oh boy. I'll pause this. We'll let him out and we'll resume. We'll talk about some other stuff here on the Winding Road podcast. Hopefully I'm going to catch up. We're right around Thanksgiving as of this recording. Hopefully it's not Christmas or past by the time you hear this, because I want to talk about Christmas lights. When we put them up, when we take them down. Me and my buddy had a whole big debate on that the other night. It's kind of fun. I'm going to debate with you. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. We'll be right back. All right, I clicked back on it a little early before I let Ace out because we're home, and I just want you guys to see. Hey, man, he's going crazy. Ace, you got to go poop? You need to go poop? Watch. He'll like try to jump over me as soon as I open this door, guys. It's nuts. He's nuts. He's 10, 11 years old now. I think he's 10. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, he just turned 11. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, 11. Holy cow, 8-year-old. Ah! He gone. He gone. Hopefully he'll be around for a few more years at least. Man, I love that little bastard. I do. He caused me so much chaos, dude. So much chaos. Just like trying to find him and it runs off, bind and rebuke. One time I was at my living at a duplex and I went, why does it matter where I live? It's a house, whatever. I got home, he was staying on a chain. It was not good at the time. I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't let him just stay in the house and tear the house up. It was probably a bad idea. I got him in the first place, but I wanted a dog so that he could find my Frisbee golf disc. And of course, I'm glad I got him. Absolutely. Hope you guys don't mind. I'm just kind of sitting back here. But, you know, he's caused me so much more joy than the chaos and negativity that he's caused. Way more joy, way more joy. One time getting home, I let him off the chain. He goes inside. I'm not a believer in letting dogs on chains, but we all make mistakes, you know. It was a pretty long chain, but, you know, I do. Sometimes when I go by people's houses and I see the dogs on chains, I'm like, oh, man, I feel so bad. Like, you know, let them run, but you can't just let them run. They might run off, you know. Dogs that are in houses all day, like people that put their dogs in cages. I'm not judging anybody. Ace had to stay in. I used to put him in the bathroom whenever I went to work. Now I got home, of course, I let him out. I let him run. Let him do his thing, but I definitely think that, and I'll get back to my story in a minute, but I definitely think that by having him, you know, on the chain or in the bathroom whenever he was a puppy, you know, it caused him to be even wilder than he is. He's a German short-haired pointer, and they're wild anyways, but, you know, so as we've gotten older, we've gotten ourselves into more of a position where, you know, that never happens, thank God, you know, where he's just, you know, he's living his best life. He has been for the past few years, hunting down all the Frisbees and everything. You know, it's nice to have your own course so that he can do that. And yeah, I never have to worry about losing a disc. That's for sure. But so one time I'd gotten home. He was on the chain. I let him off the chain. Take him inside, and I forgot something in my car. So I go back out to my car. I guess it doesn't matter. It was a duplex kind of. It was okay. It was nice, but the window was a little cheap because he's inside. He's so excited. He's trying to, you know, get back out to me. He busts through the front window in my living room, and his head's just sticking out. Glasses like sticking up. I'm like, oh God, don't hurt yourself, Ace. Don't hurt yourself. And his head's just sticking out the window, looking at me, and, you know, I'm thinking, no, don't move, no. So I go back inside and get him, but yeah, he's busted through windows, he's torn up couches and stuff like that, but God bless him, I love him, he's saved me a lot of money. He might have cost me a lot of money in some other aspects, but he saved me a lot of money in discs. Man, he finds them all. He is so amazing at finding all of the discs. Pretty sweet. Man, I wish I had a drink. Hang out with you guys for a few more minutes. Appreciate you being on here, whatever platform you're on. Like I said, I was, I think on the last podcast, I was blown away how I clicked on there, and I had like 100 and something in 1 week. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? You know, I hadn't posted anything in a little while, and a lot of people listen. So thank you for listening, whatever platform you're on. If you could rate the show, if you're on YouTube, hit the old thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, all that good jazz. I'm just a guy trying to live my best life, and, you know, doing things I love and avoiding things that I don't like, and just having fun, man, just having fun. We're on a rock in the middle of space, floating around the sun, 18 miles a second. 18 miles a second. Thank you, gravity. Like, it's just so weird how we don't feel that movement at all with the way gravity works and all that. I have no idea, really. Like, I try to read science books and everything and, you know, get a little bit smarter, but in reality, I really have no idea how that works. But I do know that, yeah, we're just floating around and rocking in the middle of space. So enjoy yourselves. I know a lot of people go through a lot of hardships and loss, and I'm going to get into that here in a second. Somebody pretty darn close to me lost somebody recently. You know, should never have to bury your own kids, and that's felt really bad, really bad for this person having to do that. But you know, like, just try to enjoy it, guys. Like, the whole, you know, this whole political thing and picking a tribe and just, bashing people that don't think the way you think. It's so dumb. It is so dumb. And if we could just open our minds and just be like, okay, yeah, well, I grew up believing this. And it's like, then somebody else starts telling you about how they grew up and it's totally different. Like, I'm going to be interested. Because that was not my experience. So I want to know about your experience. It helps add to my overall knowledge and my knowledge base. If you want to be a writer, add to your knowledge base. Ask people questions. Be curious. Kids are curious. We lose that as we become adults. No, we're in the real world now. I'm out. I don't want to be in the real world. We have to deal with things. We have to be adults at times for sure. I can be a businessman. I'm a businessman. I'm also a crazy, goofy ass mother trucker as well. I can be all of these different things. But just have fun. Have fun doing it. I don't always have fun, but I try to. My brain doesn't always compute having fun. Some days I wake up and I'm just like, man. Most days when I wake up, I'm thankful, grateful. Thank you, God, for letting me live another day. Thank you. Oh, what can we get done today? What kind of fun can we have today? The other days, the other nights is like lay there and you do have the thoughts of just like, man, like, I don't know, this is old, this is boring. Like, God, you're just ready to be done with it all. Like all those, these are just natural thoughts we have, and things are weighing you down or doing, whatever. Like, just, man, but I recognize when it's happening. That's not truly who I am, and it's just something's not computing. Something's not computing whenever these thoughts are coming in, or it's the evil, the darkness, the devil, whatever, trying to invade your thoughts. Yeah, probable for sure. And I recognize when that's happening, and I just try to go back to gratitude. And it's just like, even though I'm not feeling it right now, I'm not feeling this whole deal, I realize that it's just temporary. It's just a temporary thing. And not every day is just going to be sunshine and rainbows in the mind. But I recognize it's like, okay, it's only a problem because it's happening now. Sun's eventually going to come out. So I just concentrate on the positives. I try to. But we can't. Whenever we're having those bad, quote unquote, bad days, and I'll never like try to have a bad day, but whenever those thoughts are coming in, man, I'm just like, thinking, all right, it's just a wave. It's just a wave that's coming at you, and it's just one big wave. This whole deal in life is just one big wave. So when the negative waves come in, I'm like, all right, cool. Here's another wave, like, okay, it's a wave of sadness. It's a wave of feeling like everything's meaningless. And whenever those waves come at you, it's like, okay, I really, all right, they'll pass. That wave will pass. So I just ride it out, and I try to change it, flip it on its head, flip the script on it, and I'm like, all right, cool. Well, if I wake up tomorrow, I don't feel like this. If I do, well, so what? We're gonna keep riding it, and we're just gonna keep trying to practice gratitude and thankfulness, man, because it all goes away whenever we get in these stupid arguments with our parents, with our family, with our friends over stupid shit. Stupid shit. And we always, we feel like we got to be right about everything, man. We don't. I'm wrong about so much, so often. And yeah, so often I'll start saying shit. And eventually, because I don't have the whole puzzle put together, and you start saying shit, and then, you let your anger get the best of you, or your mouth just pop off and not thinking things through, and then you've said stuff and it's made them mad or whatever, but then 5 minutes later you realize that the way you were thinking about it is not the way that it actually is. And then you're like, oh shit, I just look like a dumbass because I'm just spouting off the mouth and I wasn't listening before I was thinking and spouting off. And you get yourselves into trouble when that happens. I was going to make another good little point, or at least I think they're good points. What do you, I don't know. But I was going to make another good point there. I forgot. Let's see if I can think about it. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, it's like, why do we feel like we have to be right all the time on everything? Is it our ego? Is it I think it's more of our pride and, not wanting to admit we're wrong because we think it makes us look weak. When in fact, admitting you're wrong on something, I think it shows a sign of strength. It shows a sign of that you're human, and hey man, like, I don't have everything figured out. I fucked up. I was wrong on that, man. You were right. I was wrong, and hopefully the other person is not going to be like, oh, I told you so. Hopefully they're going to be like, cool, man. Glad you were able to finally, see it that way. And, but then a lot of times, like, I know I'm right on stuff. And you just, but you keep trying to hammer it down, shove it down people's throats. Like, no, we cannot go about it that way. You got to figure out different ways to do things. And I'll tell you what, too, it's like if you have something you need to talk to somebody about, the negatives or whatever, something you have to bring up that is an issue, like, lead with the positive first. Soften them up a little bit, as they say. Soften them up a little bit. I mean, it might sound like you're being manipulative or whatever, but I try not to look at it that way. I try to look at it because you get them listening to you whenever you're like saying the positives, like, hey, I really like this and I really love that. Man, this is great. And you explain whatever it is you're talking about. Then they're listening to you because those little happy endorphins are going off in the other person's head. And they're thinking, oh, cool. And then of course everybody else like, or they might be waiting and be like, okay, yeah, but where's your but? Well, okay, I guess I could say but. I tried not to say but. Like, I like that, but just say like, hey, I like that, I love that. And then you could say, but hey, here's where I think we could, but this other thing, I think we can improve here and we can improve there. Here's how it's kind of bad and how we can improve upon it. Point out how it is and then how you can improve upon it. Pro tip. That's a pro tip, boys and girls. Yeah, that's the pro tip. All right, man, let's talk about grief. Let's talk about grief. And I was thinking about this the other day and like how to try to help them. And I've talked on here before, when people are going through stuff, like sure, say, you're in my thoughts and you're in my prayers, but that's just so cliche. And I think a lot of times it's in that ear and then it's out that ear, in that ear, out, whatever, in one ear and out the other, because it's so cliche and it doesn't register with them. So we have to, number one, figure out a way to say something different than what everybody else is saying whenever somebody's going through something. And like I said, this person shouldn't have to bury your own kids, man. That sucks. It sucks. But, and then the other person that's even closer to this person than me was telling them, it's fate, so it's like, okay, well, that might help. Like, like our fates are already written, like nobody knows time or the place, like, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen to all of us. It just happened to happen before this person, barely even old enough to drink, if they want to drink, whatever. It's just like, man, but it's like, okay, well, what if that other person doesn't believe in fate and they come back at you on the, like free will, that's like, okay, but it's just like, man, like, but it happened and it's going to happen to all of us. Like, I know it sucks. And, do obviously express really sorry for it. It sucks. But we have to just, it's like it brings up your own mortality. But I think maybe that would help. I don't know. It's just like, okay, that sucks. You have to go on living and they're gone now. But, it's like you have to realize this whole thing is just a blink It's a blink. It's a blink of an eye. If you look at everything on the cosmic scale, the grand scale of things, it's a blink of an eye, and you're gonna die too, man. Like that might be really hard. It might not be the right thing to say. Maybe try to think of a better way to say it to whoever you're talking to that's going through that. But it's going to happen to you too, man. And it's just a blink of an eye. So, it's just like, you know, I don't know how you come out of that darkness, though, that you're in, if that is something that would happen to you. Because, they're kids, like, it's just like, they're so special. Like, you brought them into this world, man. And it's tough. That's ought to be such a tough thing to try to go through, but I really do think it does boil back to faith as well. And again, just about this being so temporary. So it's like, yeah, they died. You might go on to live to be another 40, 50 years, whatever it is. But in reality, really, both things were like that. Both things are a snap of a finger, man. Both things are a snap of a finger. And so if you dealt with that loss, if you had that loss, but you have to go on living, and it's going to be really suck, and you have to I think embrace those raw emotions too, of that loss. I think whenever people lose people, and you're going through that grief, like you have to let it hit you. And feel it and embrace the despair, embrace the grief that has come upon you, and just realizing that is a natural part of life. Yeah, no, it wasn't natural that person, it was if you talk about it from a fate standpoint, but it's not natural, that person died with the way they did. It wasn't natural, my buddy, the way that he died, that he did. It's like, man, I wish, I'm talking about two different things now. This person that, like I said, they lost somebody, and then now I lost one of my best friends a few years back. I don't know if I've talked about it on here before or not, but whenever I was going through that, it was just like, it's not going to seem real for a little while. Probably everybody's experience is going to be different, but like for a while there, it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just like, it takes you a while to even fully accept that happened. So it's just like, until you fully accept that has happened, you're not even going to start the grieving. You're not even going to start the grieving process, because you're trying to, like you're living in a fantasy land. It's like, all right, this isn't, it's real, but you're trying to pretend that it's not real, Like one day they're just going to call you on the phone. Like we know that's not going to happen, but in our brains we try to pretend that it's fake. And by escaping that reality and just not accepting it, I think stops you from the grieving process. And once you do finally accept it, then you get down to the actual grieving process, and you just have to let it hit you. You have to let it hit you at the core of your being to be able to go through it. You can't, I don't know, and this has helped me. Maybe it's not a good idea for everybody, I don't know, but for me, it's just like, all right, once I accepted it, I let it hit me to the core of my being, and you're gonna cry a lot, and you're gonna, it's gonna look different for everybody, but, and then you're gonna go through that, and and then the question is does the pain ever go away? And for me, yes. The old saying, time heals all wounds. It's like, okay, and then it starts to, you start to hopefully, have a little more joy in your life again. Even though that person is gone, and you get back to living. And then, then you feel guilty, I think, sometimes about living and about having happiness and joy again. And you feel like you forget about that person. And it's like, okay, if I'm not thinking about them, if I don't feel sad anymore that they're gone, then, like I should feel sad because they're gone. Like I can't have my own happiness anymore. And if I don't feel sad, then it's like I forgot about them. And I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. It's natural for sure, but I do not think that is true. You got to ask yourself, would that person that did lose their physical body and go back into the soul world, we're going to get into the faith part of it here in a minute, but did that person that is gone, would they want you to just be sad for the rest of your life because they're gone? I doubt it, man. I really doubt it. And we're not forgetting them by not being sad anymore. And you have to transition then into whenever their name is brought up or whenever you think about them, of a smile on your face and being grateful and thankful for the time that you did spend with them and all the great memories that you made. And then you can smile about that. And then you can have faith that you're one day going to see them again. And growing up as a Christian and having that belief, like I had that belief, but it's transformed for me outside of religion now. I don't look at it in the simple context of, oh, hey, he died, going to heaven, I'm going to meet, you'll see him again. Like, it's more deeper. I think this whole ordeal is, way more complex than that. I think that it goes like to an energy standpoint. Again, with these near-death experiences, people have them and then they're going into these near-death and they're seeing and meeting that person that died or whatever. And then like, a guy was talking about his grandpa and hugging him and embracing him. This is all in past episodes. You can go check out the full stories on all that. But it's like whenever they had that and they hugged that person, it's like their spirits became one. And we are all one. And that's whenever I say in this thing, we are each other. I'm me, you're you, but we are each other. That's that faith part of having that faith. We're all connected, man. Do your research, do your homework on that. This energy, it's all connected. If one thing didn't happen, then the other thing wouldn't happen. And we think we're not connected, but we are connected. So it goes back to the faith. Like, I don't know what kind of form it would be if you just die and you walk up to them like, hey man, good to see you again. And they look exactly the way they did before. I don't know. Maybe it's just like you go in there and you realize like, oh shit, like we're all one. We're all one. So if we had that mindset of we're all one, then whenever we lose somebody here, yeah, you're still going to go through that natural because we're in this human body, we're in this human form, we're using our human brains to think about things. So all that grief and everything, that's all going to be natural. But the realization of that, like we're all one, then you don't really worry about it anymore. And then you accept that it's just a part of the process, man. It's a part of the deal. It's just a part of it, man. And everybody's going to get through it in their own ways. And I hope that, if the person sees it who lost them, I hope that helps you. I love you. I love you so much. And I hope that helps you. Hopefully it'll help somebody else out there. Just my thoughts on things. That's just my thoughts on grief. I hope some of it made sense. And I love you. I love y'all. I love y'all, man. I sure do. I love you. Oh man. Whew. What else is going on? We're at 40 minutes. We're like a real podcaster now. Some bits, no more. Well, I'll still probably do some 15-minute episodes and everything like that, but do want to get a little more just in a long form. I like to keep them under an hour, probably around 30 minutes. So we're at 39, so excuse me. So should probably wrap this up, but I don't know. Hopefully I help somebody. Like, that's purpose. That's purpose to me. That's purpose. Getting on here and being just completely vulnerable and honest with you guys. just hopefully help somebody. If not, well, it helped me. It helped me by talking about it out loud, you know, and by going through my thoughts, you know, and not just letting them be jumbled. Because, you know, whenever we kind of start thinking about these things, it's like, but if we're not putting them into sentences, like when we're in our head, like, I don't know, that's an interesting thing. Like, yeah, I mean, we're thinking about things in sentences and everything, but sometimes I think if we're just thinking about it, it can be kind of jumbled up and you know, they're just kind of little thought here, a little thought there, but none of it's really tying together, and we don't really explore sometimes those thoughts and what those thoughts mean. They give way to more thought, and then then you're creating a picture on things. So if you're able to do that, so I do think by like talking out loud, doing these kind of things, or talking to somebody else, or listening, you know, to podcasts. Like I listen to a lot of different ones, you know, and gain a lot of different knowledge and everything from them. But yeah, man, that's just all things that can help you. But you know, it is about finding purpose, you know. So you're like, your purpose is going to keep going. Just because, you know, you lost somebody and you're going through a tough time, man, you still have purpose. Like, and you can use that sometimes, you know. Like, for instance, in my buddy's case, you know, it was drugs. It was drugs that got him. And I really admire his family for, you know, being totally honest about it. And I see some other Facebook posts sometimes, and, you know, where somebody else recently is like, you know, this person died. They got overcome by their addiction. They didn't hide that. They didn't hide that on Facebook. They shared it. Sorry, I got cut off. They shared it because of, you know, because they know it might be able to help somebody, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I think overall in general, like, you know, being a little vulnerable on those things, like we're just afraid because, you know, we don't want to be called crazy, you know, and be made fun of or be bullied or whatever. But man, there's so many more people out there. Like a lot of, I would say most have the same thoughts, same type of deal, because we're in this human form, is that the same type of thoughts that you do, man. So if we're able to talk about them, you know, other people are going through the same shit, man. So we can help each other. We can help each other on these things. So I'm giving you guys a writing update. I kind of already talked. Well, I guess I was just talking about editing a video at the top, but I'm still working through getting my novella published. I've sent in like 3 or 4 different times, you know, my cover on Amazon, trying to get it exactly right, you know, like the Y will be just a little too far to the right, got cut off, or everything's not just a little bit centered on the side. It's like, it's just a little bit off, man. And I'm not willing, you know, I'm like, I know I'm not going to make it perfect, but I'm going to get as damn close as I can. That's for sure. Kind of maybe contradict what I was saying earlier, but I'm going to get as close as I can. Like, I don't want to put out shit out there. And if I want to sell copies, like, this goes back to being a professional and making things look top notch. So I'm going to keep going through it and keep going through it till I got it right, till I got it exactly how I want it to be. And, you know, you can do edits and edits and edits on books and everything. At some point, you do have to just put it out there. Cover's a little bit different of a story, you know. You need to make sure everything's lined up and centered. You can't just be like, all right, well, the Y is cut off, but I'm not trying to be perfect, so I'm just going to throw this out there. Nobody will probably read it because they think I'm a dumbass because the Y is cut off. So no, sometimes you do have to get it down, get it right. So I'm trying to get that exactly right. I just sent in another proof. Hopefully it'll be great. And, you know, and just other project wise, just like I got a lot of different projects. I don't want to give any of them up, but I have been thinking about giving up the wrestling podcast. I don't want to. I love watching wrestling and I love talking about wrestling, but it's just like, okay, but I don't know. You know, at certain points it's like, okay, if it's not like growing, like, but I've gotten a decent amount of subscribers lately, but it's just like, okay, but then it goes back to being inconsistent with things for sure. So if I'm not consistent with it, then I'm really never going to see continued consistent growth. So I have to be consistent with it. But, you know, there's only so much time in a day. I only have so much time, and I'm going to spend a lot of times playing disc golf and other recreational activities and doing what I love. I'm going to do it, but I try to make as much time as I can for my projects. Thankfully, I'm in a position now where I have a lot of time to do both, and I'm like so thankful for that. Speaking of wrestling, this is Ep.52. I love you. I love you. He does that. But, you know, I'm so thankful that I'm able to do that. You know, a lot about it's because I've been smart. The way I approach things and the way I do things, a lot of it's, you know, also because I've been very blessed to have those opportunities. But it's like, even if it's tough, even if, you know, and like a job you don't like and stuff, like figure out a way to make money doing what you love. I know I've said that a million times on here, but I'll keep preaching it, you know. I'll keep preaching it. We're going on a rock. We're rolling around on a rock in space at 18 miles a second. Like, figure out a way to have fun, guys. Figure out a way to have fun, and don't sweat the small stuff, man. Don't sweat anything, really. Once you realize that the fear thing is just an illusion. And then to me, like, realizing fear is an illusion is realizing that this all is just temporary and that it's all going to go away. So what the fuck am I worried about, man? Fuck am I worried about? Screw it. Not going to do it. And haven't done it. You know, it seeps back in. All the other, that's always going to try to probably seep back in. But nope. No, close that crack up. Nope, you're not getting in. Just don't let it in, man. So sometimes it's easier said than done, but I think it's obtainable. I think a happy, joyful life is obtainable. You know, like I said, everybody's situation is going to be different. People have it, you know, and then people get jealous because they have it so much harder than everybody else, man. But it's just like, you ever think about, like, there might be a reason that whatever you're going through, that you're put here in a way tougher spot than somebody else was, maybe because you have that strength in you to overcome it. And if God or whatever put somebody else in your position, maybe they couldn't do that. So then, you know, puts other people in other positions where they don't have to go through as much shit because they couldn't handle it in that current human form. I don't know. Just throwing that thought out there. But yeah, all right. Don't want to ramble on too much longer. And I already got hit with one maximum recording time reached. So not going to get hit with those anymore. But man, it's been fun. It's been fun talking to you on here tonight. And you know, I went into this, I was like thinking, man, do I even want to click on it? Like, I feel like my brain's just kind of not operating right. Like, you know, whatever. I'm talking to people, and it's just like, you know, can't get my thoughts out there right. Like, you know, whatever, haven't eaten enough food, got enough sleep, not sleeping, whatever it is. But then it's just like, okay, do I want to use that as an excuse though? Or like, you know, no, just start it. And then you realize it's just a thin layer. And it's like, well, I'm through the thin layer. I'm on here, I think, giving at least halfway making decent ass points on here. And I feel good about it. It's just like break through that, you know. It's just like, man, a lot of times it's like I don't want to start stuff because I don't feel like doing it. You know, and it's just like this cloud, this fog with the negative, the bad, the devil, whatever it is. It's like, yeah, just sit here and watch TV. Just sit here and watch TV. But then I'm like, no, I'm not doing that, because I know that as soon as I start something, soon as I get it going, I'm through the thin layer again, man. And then I'm getting a whole lot of shit done, and I'm feeling a whole lot better about myself than I would have if I would have just sat there all night and watched TV and wasted my time. Nah. I'm me. Yeah, I'm me. I'm like looking at myself pointing, but yeah. I'm me, you're you. But we are each other. Oh, no, hold on, wait, retract. Backwards, reverse. I forgot. And hopefully, again, it's not freaking January by the time you're hearing this and you're like, who gives a shit about Christmas lights? I did promise you, before we let Ace out of the car, me and my buddy were having a discussion about Christmas lights. And, you know, it was like 2-3 weeks before Thanksgiving. People already putting up their Christmas lights. Do what you want, by all means. But in my mind, I'm like, this is too damn early for this shit. Like, we barely finished Halloween. Excuse me. We're just, you know, whatever, a month past that, and I'm already seeing Christmas lights. So like, some people might be like, oh, I put them up because, you know, whenever we have people over for Thanksgiving, you know, like, Christmas lights are cool. No, that's for frickin' Christmas time, people. Put up your Thanksgiving decorations. Do they even make them? Yeah, they make Thanksgiving decorations. They do. My family has them. They're just over there. They got them. They got Thanksgiving decorations up. Like, let's celebrate Thanksgiving first, people. Not just jump to the future. That's the whole thing. It's like we're already focused on the future. It's like, and then we're just like, oh, cool. We just kind of write Thanksgiving off. But it's part of the holidays, right? You wish somebody happy holidays at Thanksgiving. To me, like, that was already, like, you don't do that really till you get into December. But yeah, I could see why you'd make the argument where you would wish people a Merry. Well, I know I can leave this. I can just leave this part out if it's January or February by the time I post it. But hopefully it's not. Hopefully you're hearing it, watching, hearing. And like, you know, but Thanksgiving, like, celebrate Thanksgiving. But it's just like we're always so focused on the future. You know, it's like, then again, there could be something said for getting ahead of the game and getting your Christmas lights up. And, you know, I'm like, all right, cool, got them done. And if they're pretty, and, you know, let's enjoy them even more. But don't forget about Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. Don't forget about it, you know. But it's like, to me, December 1st, man, and take that shit down a week after January 1st. No more then. My buddy's like, nope, I want that stuff down on January 2nd. You're going to be hungover all day long on January 1st. January 2nd, you better be taking it down. But anyways, I'm just being silly. But I got a little annoyed by it. Like, I'm not ready to be in the Christmas spirit yet, you know? We start seeing Christmas ads after freaking, you know, a month before Thanksgiving or whatever, like a couple weeks out from Thanksgiving, I'm like, and then I was watching somebody on YouTube and they're like already having Christmas music songs up. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we doing here, people? What are we doing? You can have the whole month. And a little bit of January, you can have the whole month. You can even have Christmas in July. You can have Christmas in July if you like. But damn it, whenever I see them up before Thanksgiving, like, take them down and put them back up in December, damn it. Just being silly. But, I mean, yeah, at the time, yeah, I was just like, man, yeah, like, it's too early. It's too early for that. But like I said, by all means, do what you want. Like, you know me, I'm not on here trying to judge anybody for anything. So do what you want, but whenever I see it, I'm like, damn it, it's like those damn political signs that were up, like, you're ruining my view here, you're ruining my view. Like, I'll get excited about it Christmas, I'll get excited about it, just give me some time, give me a few weeks. And then I'll be like, oh, jingle bells, Batman smells. But yeah, I am the Batman. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I said I was gonna talk about that, so I didn't want to disappoint you by saying something and saying I was going to talk about it and then not talking about it. So we got on here and we talked about it. Oh, if you're watching, think I could be a good mime? So yes, if you're seeing this video, oh no, my lips moved. Yeah, don't put up your Christmas lights too early. Leave them alone. Leave them in the garage till December 1st. Oh, I apologize if you had to listen to that and you weren't seeing me on the video. At least you were on the video. You can be like, oh yeah, his lips are moving up. He couldn't be a ventriloquist. No. All right, I'm getting way too crazy. Love, inspire, unite. God bless.